Yeah, and you were there for 3 years at Roland. So why do you think you stayed so long? I think is that typical, or is it usually 2 years and then kind of the next step?
I would say it's 2 to 3 years usually.
Yep.
And for me, it was, I always planned on staying 2 to 3 years. And then, of course, you can't really plan it up until the last months. Like you get opportunities or you don't, and it takes a little bit longer. For me, the last half year, and that's also something where I'm thankful to the firm. I told them, hey guys, on the side, by the way, we're building this startup funding accelerator with a couple of friends. Can you guys give me a sabbatical? I would like to explore that opportunity. And surprisingly enough, they told me yes, like that's possible. Do your thing, and if it works, then scale it. If not, then come back. And
How
so
did you approach that conversation? Because that can be really touchy. Was it directly first with your manager saying, hey, I want to go do this startup. Can I come back in 3 months? Wouldn't most places just tell you like, no, you can't do that? Like, is that normal? Do you feel like that was because you had developed strong relationships, or why? Why do you think that was the case?
Yeah, definitely because of good relationships. So I was always trying to have good relationships with my mentors, and always, yeah. So it was really about keeping good relationships. I had multiple mentors within the firm, and with these mentors, I was very open, about my ambitions and my future goals. And I think that contributed to the fact that they then were also willing to give me this additional trust.
And so they kind of knew that it was just a few year, 2 to 3 year stint, and there wasn't any expectation that you would stay on and become a manager or an engagement manager and get promoted through with it. Is that typical for the firms there? Is it like, sometimes they go to business school, sometimes people go, what do people do coming out of
I wouldn't
college?
say that I wouldn't say that you should clearly communicate that you are going to, leave the firm in 2 or 3 years.
Right.
But what I did and what I was very open about is my big ambitions to start a company, build an empire. And so they knew that, okay, so either this guy is going for the partner track, and then probably he realizes, oh, like that's not, that's not really building or going to get him an empire, and then he
Mhm.
jumps to something else, or he's naturally just going to leave in a couple of years.
Mhm.
um, but basically being straightforward with your vision and your ambitions, that's something I think that's very beneficial.